Hi guys, this is the World Geo Land and Water Terms packet. So if you need to fill this out for whatever reason, if you didn't get it filled out in class, then you can follow along with me. This is also something that you'll need to study for tonight, for the test tomorrow, okay? So this first page of the packet, it's got all of these terms on it. You are going to need to know what those terms are and to be able to identify them. So to like read archipelago and know that it's a group of islands, okay? A group or a chain of islands. Japan, Hawaii are examples of these, but there are other examples of archipelagos, okay? So if there's clusters of islands in a group, then that's an archipelago. So you want to just study these terms. You can study them here on the packet. You can also use Quizlet and study it on the computer. So that's the front and the back of this. So the next page is the continents close up. And so I've gone through and I have highlighted the sections that are important when we're going to be answering the questions. So I'm going to just read through this. You can pause this at any time if you want to highlight anything that you need to, okay? So a continent is a large landmass completely or mostly surrounded by water. The continents make up just over 29% of the Earth's surface. They occupy about 57,100,000 square miles. More than 65% of the land area is in the northern hemisphere. Okay, so when you have the equator running through the center of the Earth, you can see that the majority of the land is north of the equator. That's what it's saying. I lost my spot. Okay, land masses. Continents. Geographers list North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, and Antarctica as continents. Subcontinents are Greenland and the India-Pakistan area are sometimes referred to as subcontinents. Microcontinents, Madagascar and the, I don't know how to say this, Seychelles Islands are often called microcontinents. Oceania, the island group in the Pacific Ocean, are called Oceania, but they are not considered a continent, okay? This part right here, not as important for your test, okay? How were the continents formed? For many years, Europeans believed the continents were formed by a catastrophe or a series of catastrophes, such as floods, earthquakes, and volcanoes. In 1596, a Dutch mapmaker, Abram Ortelius, noted that the Americas, eastern coast and the western coast of Europe and Africa looked as if they fit together. He proposed that once they had been joined, but later were torn apart. So when you look at this map, you see one large landmass, okay? These are all the different continents put together, okay? Many years later, a German named Alfred Lothar Wegener published a book in which he explained his theory of the continental drift. Wegener, like Ortelius, believed that the Earth originally had one supercontinent. He named it Pangaea. This is important, from the Greek word meaning all land. He believed that the large landmass was a lighter rock that floated on a heavier rock, like ice floats on water. Wegener's theory stated that the land masses were still moving at a rate of about 1 yard each century. Wegener believed that Pangaea existed in the Permian Age. Then Pangaea slowly divided into two continents. So this is one continent. It's slowly dividing. If you flip your page, the upper part is Laurasia and the lower part Gondwanaland during the Triassic Age. So that's when they separated. So here's the upper part and the lower part, okay? By the Jurassic Age, the land masses had moved into what we could recognize as the 7 continents, although they were still located near each other. Eventually, the continents drifted to their present location. Most scientists had been in agreement on the continental drift theory until researchers in the 1960s discovered several major mountain ranges on the ocean floor. These mountains suggested that the Earth's crust consists of about 20 slabs or plates. These discoveries led to a new theory, plate tectonics, which has become more popular. This theory suggests that these plates moved a few inches each year. In some places, the plates are moving apart, while in others, the plates are colliding or scraping against each other. Scientists also discovered that most volcanoes and earthquakes occur along the boundaries of the various plates. Recent earthquakes near Indonesia and Japan along the boundaries of the Indo-Australian, Eurasian, Philippine, and Pacific plates have triggered devastating tsunamis. Tsunamis are tidal waves, just in a different part of the world. They're called tsunamis. That killed hundreds of thousands of people. Scientists hope that further study will help them increase their understanding of Earth's story. So when we're talking about those 20 different plates, this is down at the bottom of the ocean, kind of where the cracks are, okay, or where there's separate chunks of Earth called plates, okay. Sometimes they move together, sometimes they move apart. When they move together, they make mountains. When they move apart, continents get farther apart. They get wider. The ocean, spreads out. So now we go here, and you notice how I had 3 different colors. I had pink and orange and blue highlights. Pink and orange, and the bottom is blue. That's where you're going to find the answers, okay? So plate tectonics, it's the theory that plates move a few inches each year, okay? So C goes here. Laurasia, if you didn't remember, is the upper part. Laurasia is upper, the lower is Gondwanaland, okay? So Laurasia, upper part of Pangaea, that's D. I'm going to just go here, Gondwanaland, lower part of Pangaea, A. So I have A, C, and D. Okay. What is a continent? A large landmass completely or mostly surrounded by water. And Pangaea, a Greek word meaning all lands. Okay, so that's B. As we go down here, he explained his theory of continental drift. Well, Ortelius told us about when we see it right here, he told us about his theory, okay, how the continents were formed in just different catastrophes. And then if we look at Wegener, Wegener is the German. He published a book which explains his theory of continental drift. So it's easy to get confused, but we're talking about Alfred Wegener here because he has the theory of continental drift. Okay. The Earth's crust consists of how many plates? Well, on this side, it talked about the Earth's crust consists of about 20 slabs or plates. So it's 20. So this bottom part where you need to write an answer, it says, explain how the movement of the Earth's plate formed the 7 continents. Use 2 details from the selection to support your answer. So if you go back to this page, if you pause it here, you can reread this section and you will be able to come up with an answer here. Okay? And then the last part is just labeling, okay? So we are labeling Pacific Ocean is the big oceans, okay, 11. The Indian Ocean is near India, which is right here, so the Indian Ocean is here, 10. The continent of Asia is our largest, right here, 6. North America, where we live, is 1. Arctic Ocean is way up top in the north, that's 8. Africa, right here, that's 4. Australia, right here, that's 7. South America, well, if this is North America, then South America is right below it, that's 2. Atlantic Ocean, the ocean right here in between, is 9. Antarctica, that's the one at the bottom, so that's 5. And Europe, this tiny little guy right here, we sometimes think this whole thing is Asia, but it's not. Asia's here, Europe's here, okay, so 3. Alright, so I think that's all the questions. You have more terms on this back page, front and back, okay? So make sure you're studying this packet. Make sure that you understand those terms, and make sure you get this packet done, because the packet is what makes or breaks your grade. This is what you need to get done. Do it well. Turn it in on time. If you need anything else, let me know. See ya. Good luck on your test.